What's up, everyone? On today's show, we're going to talk all about yesterday's big release of the first DLC character in Street Fighter 6, Rashid, and my unprecedented great first run with the character. In addition, there'll be a major follow-up to the LTG situation. Yes, it's true. Even more has happened since yesterday. So all this and more on today's podcast. Alrighty, everyone. So, welcome to the show. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. If you can't notice, it's been a very busy 24 hours for me here on DSPGaming. First of all, I don't know if you've noticed, but based on the feedback that I received yesterday on the podcast, I've been working on my sexy. All right? So I switched up shirts, so now I'm wearing a nice tight pop culture reference shirt to be at the height of fashion, and also I'm wearing a piece of jewelry, a necklace on the outside of my shirt to try to look nice and sexy for you on the stream today. Now, the problem is, sadly, I'm poverty status, all right? So because I'm poverty status streaming, I couldn't afford to get a real piece of jewelry. So I just grabbed whatever was hanging around in my office here and I just tossed it on. But at least now, my looks must be improving and they must be getting up to standard of what's expected of a professional level streamer who would be spoken to by another streamer, correct? Anyway, the other thing I've been really busy doing is playing Street Fighter 6 because Rashid released in Street Fighter 6 yesterday. He is the first major DLC character. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report something that you probably didn't expect. I did really well with Rashid. In fact, as you're going to see as we go into the numbers and what happened, probably my best first outing with a new character in the game ever. Like, unprecedented performance, which I was not expecting, especially when you're picking a character. I didn't know anything really about him. I didn't do any research on him. I was just trying to basically like learn him on the fly. I did pretty damn good. So we're going to talk all about that today. There's a little bit of game news to discuss today as well, some of which pertinent to Street Fighter 6, but some other things going on as well. So a good show for you today. And yes, I am going to further respond to the whole LTG situation because it has progressed further. So I have more to say. If it didn't progress further, I would have ignored it. But there are updates that we will cover. All right? But before we get to that, let's talk about the Street Fighter 6 stuff so that way we can get that out of the way and focus on the other stuff, shall we? By the way, my goal is to not have a 2-hour stream today. That would be nice. You know, not a 2-hour podcast, so we can actually get to Final Fantasy 16, which is our gameplay for today. I do want to apologize because the last few days I've had some issues with my throat because of likely allergies. And sometimes my voice cracks and stuff, and it sucks. It's stupid. You know, what can you do? Can't really help it. Hopefully it heals and gets better. I guess we'll see. Anyway. So let's talk. So yesterday, Rashid released in Street Fighter 6. Okay? First DLC character. And as you know, I bought the Ultimate Edition of the game, so I'm going to be playing all of the Season 1 DLC characters moving forward. And a lot of people were interested in seeing how I would play him, you know, what I thought about the character, how I would do. And I didn't know. I had no idea, right? So, you know, I jumped in, and actually the night before, there were no videos or tech out for the character, so I actually watched a little bit of Justin Wong using him on his own live stream, and basically Justin got him to master ranking. He played like 8 to 10 hours straight, and he got him to master ranking with just basics. Like, he didn't know any advanced strategies, but Justin's so solid at fundamentals and basics in fighting games that he's just trouncing everyone online and gets to master. So I saw like an hour, but I didn't really learn too much, only because he didn't know so much about the character. Everyone was still learning. And so yesterday, on my first stream, we did exactly what I would usually do. We did the guide, we did the combo trials, we did some training mode practice to try to learn some viable combos. Then I went into casual play for about an hour. So all in all, I played for about 2 hours before I actually went to ranked play. Then I finally went to ranked play and I played my ranked matches. And what was funny was, even though I didn't actually know much about what I was doing with the character, similar to when I was playing with Luke, I was doing pretty good. I think I want to say I won at least 4 or 5 of my ranked matches, and they kept giving me 5-star platinum and even diamond players when I was playing my ranked matches. So, you know, it was pretty crazy because, again, here I am with a brand new character. I have no idea really what I'm doing. I'm just trying to learn, and I'm actually getting wins. So the thing was, I actually was doing well, and then I think it was like the last 2 matches I lost back-to-back, and that ended up kind of tanking my ranking. So instead of starting in diamond like I did with Luke, I actually ended up starting in, I want to say it was 3-star platinum, but like just on the starting level of 3-star platinum for when I was going to play in ranked, okay? By the way, I'm so far ahead of myself, I didn't even mention today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Sorry, I got so ahead of myself. I was so into my sexy that it completely distracted me from everything else, as it should be. When you are so focused on yourself and your looks, that's all that should ever be on your mind. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's yesterday, today, tomorrow, a week, a year. As long as you look good, that's all that matters. So anyway, after doing my ranked placement matches, I then jumped into ranked, and I played an hour on my first stream and 2 hours on my late stream. Actually, it was about 2.5 hours on my late stream. So I actually played an absolute ton of gameplay of Rashid on this launch day. And what because people are asking me, what do you think about the character? What do you think about the build? Is he different from other characters? So here's what I've observed, okay? Basically, the way I see it is, he's a hybrid because he does have some tricky zoning with this fireball that he has, which is a weird fireball. Instead of going straight forward like most fireballs in the game, this fireball has a curve to it. And so because it has a curve, you know what it reminds me of? The Airman ability that you get in Mega Man 2. I know that's a weird, obscure reference for most of you, but like it's the same. Like you do it, and instead of just an attack that goes straight, it goes whoop like that. And it's tricky because a lot of people don't realize that, and they jump right into it, or they walk right into it, thinking, oh, it's going to go down, then it hits them in the face, or I'm going to jump over it, and then it goes whoop, it curves, it hits them from underneath. And a lot of characters, such as Zangief, have a tricky time getting around it because they're already so chubby, and now you have this curving projectile. Now, in addition, if you charge the projectile before you release it, you get a little tornado in front of you, and then what you can do is dash through the tornado, and you get all new properties. So you can do his spin attack, and it becomes a powered-up super tornado that hits for tons of damage and goes across the screen and combos. Or you can do like a jump that supercharges you across the screen for a crazy far jump that people aren't going to expect. So he's got some trickiness to him, and just that basic tornado and mix up with the tornado gameplay already is something that people don't know how to handle, and they're losing to a lot. In addition to that, he's pretty decent when it comes to combo ability. I'm sure he has much better combos than anything I figured out. You know, I figured out like 3-4 hit combos. There's one combo you can do mid-screen that involves a drive rush and an OD move, and it's decent damage. It's maybe like 20-25% of the health bar. And then I figured out a combo that's a little different that you can cancel into an OD juggle and then into a level 3. And that one ends up being like 40-50% damage. So I found out 2 good combos. I didn't really know what to do with him in the corner. I think his corner combo ability is way better than anything I figured out. For him to understand, you could do like multiple juggles in the corner with his spinning mixer move and stuff like that. But I never really figured any of that out. But really just solid gameplay of using the tornado, some dash cancel combos, solid anti-airs. Got me big wins, all right? To give you guys some perspective on my win-loss record with him, and then I'm going to tell you my criticisms of the character, okay? Here's how it went. First of all, we have updated the graphic. I think this is the correct graphic. Bear with me if I click the wrong button. Okay, it's the correct graphic. Here is my first run rounds graphic. So this is only rounds. This is not overall matches. This is rounds played, win-lose. As you can see, I've now played with 13 different characters in Street Fighter 6. Okay? Out of the 19 now that are in there. So there's another 6 I haven't touched yet. And out of those 13, if you take this initial win-loss record of just rounds, Rashid is my best character. Rashid, I won more than I lost by far. I mean, take a look. 178 round wins and only 88 round losses. That's a huge record. I mean, that's more. I won more than twice as much as I lost. So that's a really, really good record. Okay? That's excellent, especially for a day one character. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? Now, you might say, well, why, Phil, do you think you did so good with Rashid compared to other characters who you did day one? There's two reasons, I would say, okay? Reason number one, the game's now been out for 2 months. In 2 months, I've learned an incredible amount of stuff about the basics of the game. I know how to implement drive rush. I know how to parry very well. I understand timing, anti-air, spacing a lot better. Remember when I was using a lot of these characters for the first time, you know, this whole first 2 rows, essentially, I didn't even really know the basics of the game yet. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was getting my ass handed to me because I didn't really get it yet. By the time that, you know, now you're looking at characters down here like Luke or Rashid, now I have the basics down pat, and therefore I'm doing, you know, overall a lot better when I have those basics done. You see what I mean? And let's be honest here as well, unlike with Ryu and Luke, where I got right into Diamond, and the Diamonds were just spanking me day one, I got into Platinum, and in Platinum, there's more, you know, kind of moderate level players where I have a chance to learn and not just get trounced constantly, so I got more wins there. So that's number one. But the other reason I think I did so well with Rashid is because he's a brand new character, all right? People had absolutely no idea what he was capable of or how to face him or how to beat any of his stuff. So they don't know his recovery, they don't know what's safe, what's not. For example, his spinning mixer has very fast recovery, and if you hit it at a certain distance, he immediately has advantage to attack again, and a lot of people don't realize that. So they go for the bait, they go to try to punish it, and then you can immediately hit again or do his OD spinning mixer and a follow-up, so they don't get that. You know, you can bait into moves into level 3s, so you're getting away with stuff today that give it a week or two, people will have learned all the basics, and you're not gonna be able to get away with that stuff anymore. You see, you're basically gonna be shut down when you try to do that stuff. So I think that was a big factor of it. I don't want to take any credit away from myself. Yeah, I think I played pretty solid, all right? But what I would also like to do is criticize the character a little bit, all right? Because what I'm seeing with Rashid, a couple quick things. Number one, his normal moves don't have a lot of reach. And what I mean by that is, you know, when he's walking up and he's going to try to hit you, if you try to go for low medium kick, that's basically his best normal. His normals are kind of, I don't know, like short or stubby. His standing fierce, his forward roundhouse, which, by the way, he has a forward roundhouse that's a flip, and it looks totally like, oh, that'll flip over low attacks, but then people started mashing low jab, and it was beating the flip. And I was like, so what's the point of having this move if it gets interrupted by mashers anyway? Like, there's no reason to even have the move in the game. It's really stupid that it's in there then. You know, it was very odd. But anyway, it doesn't seem like his normals are anywhere near as good as the top tier. And when I say top tier, I'm talking about Cammy, Jury, DJ, Ken. I think that those characters from mid-screen are still going to dominate. You know, day one, I was able to pull off a lot more with Rashid because people didn't know what he was capable of or what he could do. But if I go back and play with him in a week, probably everyone will have noticed that his normals aren't as good and start punishing everything he does. Seriously, every time you gotta go to attack, they're going to stuff it, you know? So that's kind of annoying. Now, another thing that really annoyed me, and I started calling it out all the time, when you're doing Rashid's guide in Street Fighter 6, all right, it outright says in the guide that his OD spinning mixer, so spinning mixer is a fireball motion plus punch, and he spins and looks like a tornado. If you do the OD version, which is when you're using 2 buttons and you use your drive meter, it says the move is completely invincible. That's what it says in the tutorial, in the guide. It's wrong. It's not completely invincible because I kept using it and people were stuffing it like crazy, all right? So from what I'm going to understand, all right, there's each version of the spinning mixer is a little different, okay? The standard version that moves forward has no invincibility, okay? The medium punch version that moves up at an angle only has invincibility once it's very slightly lifted off of the ground, all right? But if it's too far off the ground, it's not invincible, and when it's on the ground, it's not invincible, okay? And then for the one that goes straight up, that's the fierce punch, it's only invincible when he's kind of higher up, okay? So if you're talking about a pure reversal in the air, you want to do the straight up version, but you got to do it early so it catches them in midair. If you do it too late, they're going to stuff it. So here's the problem. I'm believing what the game says in the training mode. It literally lied. It's not the OD version is not invincible. Tons of times people were jumping at me. Oh, let me do it. And they just jump kick, just stuffs it completely. It wasn't even like I did it late. I'm doing it in perfect reversal timing. Nope. Punish counter. Punish counter. As if they jumped with the intention to punish the move. No, I did the move with the intention to stuff their move because you told me it has invincibility and it doesn't. So they fucked that up. And quite frankly, there is a problem because he needs a reversal. Much like other characters who don't have a true reversal in the corner, he's going to have issues. You know, why do Ryu, Ken, Jury, DJ, why are they able to get out of the corner? Because they all have true invincible reversals that get them out of those situations on Wake Up. Rashid will not have that. So another character who's going to be locked in the corner, if he's getting rushed down, he can't get out unless he does like a perfect parry or a guess. That's not good. I mean, at least if they try to jump up, neutral jump, or jump over, you could do the anti-air with Fierce Punch. That's better, obviously. But still, I think, like, he's lacking. He is definitely lacking in that regard, and I think that's going to make him not top tier. Seriously, I believe that. Like, I believe without a true reversal, I think he'll end up being, like, higher mid-tier, maybe lower top tier. I don't think he'll end up being top tier. I don't, okay? So, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But that's my take on the character. I think he's good right now. He's good for mix-ups. The zoning is crazy with these fireballs right now. These tornadoes, no one knows how to get around them yet, but give it a week or two and people will figure that out. You know, each character will have their own way around his strategies, I'm sure. And the way I see it is right now he's very strong, but overall, I think once the playing field levels, I think he'll still be good. He's definitely not bottom tier. Absolutely not. He's not bottom. But I definitely think that he's not going to be as strong as he appears early. Like, he's my best character overall for performance. In fact, I'll give you my true performance, because what I showed you was rounds. So here's my overall performance with Rashid, day one. So first when I started playing with him, I did casual play. In casual play, I had 22 wins and 5 losses. These are matches, okay? Then I went into ranked, and my ranked placement put me at 3-star platinum. I immediately lost a bunch of matches, but then I came back and started winning. So my first stream, I had 15 wins and 8 losses for a 65% win-loss ratio. Then on my late stream, all right, I started at 3-star platinum, and I played for about 2.5 hours. I had 44 wins and only 17 losses for a 72% win-loss ratio, which pushed me from platinum 2 all the way up to platinum 5 in one day. Overall, with Rashid, I played 111 matches, 81 wins, 30 losses, 73% win-loss ratio. That is the best win-loss ratio I have with any character in Street Fighter 6. That even trumps my day one performance with JP, which was only 71%. I actually got 73% with Rashid. So, that is the absolute best performance I've had in the entirety of the game. Okay? So you might say, well, that's amazing. Are you going to keep playing Rashid? Well, I'll keep him in the rotation. I'm not in love with the character. I don't hate the character. I think he's all right. Maybe if I played more with him, I'd either learn to love or hate him more. I don't know. Initially, day one performance was great. So obviously, there's a reason for me to want to kind of go back and check him out again. But the thing is, I literally just played with him an entire day, right? So do I want to go back and play with him again right away? No, I don't. You know, I kind of want to take a break from the character. In fact, if you look at how I've been doing with other characters recently, I'm very close to hitting diamond rank with Zangief, with Lily. I'm getting close to hitting master rank with Blanca. I feel like those are more characters I would more rather focus on and try to advance in rather than focusing in on just Rashid. Now, I say just Rashid because I do want to go back to Rashid. Rashid's a 5-star diamond, or excuse me, 5-star platinum. One more session, I might hit diamond with Rashid as well. You see? So there you go. Now, there is an update, everybody. All right? There is an update here. Last night, there was a emergency patch to Street Fighter 6. All right? You might say, well, why was there an emergency patch? What gives? What happened? Okay? Well, 2 horrible glitches were discovered with the Rashid update. Okay? So, here's the 2 horrible glitches. Glitch number 1. Rashid's level 2 super, which is when he throws out a ginormous tornado. And basically, it blocks the screen. Okay? And basically, you can't walk past it. All right, you can't get through it. It's a wall essentially that you can't pass if you block it or take the hits or parry it. It hits like 4 or 5 times. Doesn't do a lot of damage. But what this tornado does is it changes the properties of Rashid. So now any move he does through the tornado is supercharged. Supercharged spin mixer, supercharged jumps, supercharged dashes. His kick, it like bounces back and forth off the screen. It just makes him interesting because for a little bit there's like a mix-up. Okay, so the problem with this is that it was glitched, where once you activated the super, if you did a certain sequence, you could walk forward, and this tornado would stay out way too long, and if someone was blocking, they'd be stuck in block stun, like, almost infinitely. It would, like, hit. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to go away after 4 or 5 hits. So this was bad, because if someone was, like, burned out and had no drive meter, you could keep hitting them with this tornado, and it would take 40% of life off their life meter blocking, which wasn't intended. It's definitely a glitch, all right? So that was something that they had to fix. But an even worse glitch was actually discovered. Yeah, an even worse glitch was actually discovered. Here's what it is. It was with JP, of all characters. And most people didn't know about the glitch because everyone was focused on Rashid. So JP has a command grab that looks similar to his other moves that he does with the shadow clones, right? And when he grabs you, basically initiates an animation, and there's a big damage output, and then it resets everyone kind of to neutral, all right? So that's what's supposed to happen. What ended up happening was there was a glitch where if JP did the OD version of his command grab, it would grab you, and as it's dealing this big chunk of damage, JP could break out of the animation, dash across the screen, and start a combo while you're already getting hit by the command grab, and it wouldn't scale the damage. So the command grab would do like 25, 30% of your health bar, then he would do his own combo, and after people figured it out, you could do 90% damage off of one command grab. And it wasn't intended. You're not supposed to be able to break out of the animation and get a free combo on top of the damage you're already dealing. So it was a horrible thing. This would have broken the game entirely, and no one would have been able to play competitively because JP would have been getting 90% combos almost every round. So they needed to do emergency maintenance, and they did, and they fixed both issues. So now Rashid's super supposedly is fixed, and supposedly JP's issue is also fixed. Now, if anything else is discovered before EVO, because EVO's in, what, 2 weeks? If anything else is discovered before EVO, you know, everyone hopes that they'll fix that too. That was fast. I don't think I've ever seen a game dev, you know, get notified of a bug like that and immediately patch it within 24 hours. Like, never. That's, like, unprecedented. And I wonder if the reason they did that is because EVO's right around the corner. Like, people are saying, listen, you made Rashid tournament worthy. You said you can use him during EVO, but he just came out. So you understand that tons of people are going to be losing to Rashid because they don't know how to play against him yet. To which they responded, too bad, you know, this is our decision. And, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But, you know, a lot of people were upset about it. And then when this bug was discovered, people were like, you see, this is what we mean. You shouldn't have a character day one be available for tournament play because we don't know if he's viable or if he's broken or not. And then Capcom immediately said, yeah, we'll watch this. And then they fixed the problem right away. So, I mean, if Capcom constantly fixes problems like this, that's amazing. I'm a little skeptical that they will. I think this was an extenuating circumstance where they absolutely needed the character to be, you know, fair for EVO. Or else it was going to make them look bad. It was going to put egg on their face. So they fixed him right away. So anyway, that's happened. That was the only patch, by the way, because people were getting all these weird notions. Oh, they did this. No, they didn't. It was the 2 things they fixed. That was it. That was the 2 things they patched. Okay? All right. So there you go. So that is everything that happened yesterday in Street Fighter 6. I had my best run ever with Rashid. Day 1, I like the character. I'm not in love with him, but I think he's good. And I think that if I learn better combos and strategies with him, I'll probably get way better and, you know, overall improve my game with him. He's right on the precipice of hitting Diamond. You know, just like my Zangief, just like my Lily. He's getting wins, and it looks like I could hit Diamond probably quickly with him if I wanted to. And I will have him in my rotation to continue to be played moving forward. Okay? So there you go. So that was yesterday. It was a good day overall. I had a good time. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, looking forward to more. So now what we should do, all right, let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what's going on. And let's talk about, I'm trying to remember. I think this is it. Okay, I wanted to be sure because I want to make sure I clicked the right picture here. Right. Let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what's going on. We got a couple game news stories to cover quickly. And then I want to get to the LTG thing. I know many of you here, I have over 400 viewers, are here for an update on the LTG situation, which I have a big one. Because there were developments. Let's just put it that way. After yesterday's podcast, I didn't know how it was going to go. Well, it went in a direction, and I'll tell you that direction, all right? So, let's talk about the rest of the week. Today, first stream here, Final Fantasy 16. Boo! Boo! People throwing tomatoes and fucking vegetables. I know. But we're 29 hours into the game, all right? I'm going to beat the game at this point. I'm not going to give up on it. And I guarantee you, because we just got through a major story segment, we're going to end up in a boring segment today. So I would say today, bear with me. If you're going to stick around for Final Fantasy 16, let's make it a chill stream, an interactive stream. Let's talk. Let's have fun with each other. If the game is boring us, let's try to make the best of it. Let's make lemons out of lemonade. That was really stupid. Let's make lemonade out of lemons, right? And do the best thing that we can here, all right? Rather than just sit here and complain. We're almost done with it, right? Like people are saying, you're basically in the home stretch, the last 12 to 15 hours of the game. So within another week to week and a half, we're going to beat it. And the thing is, people are saying the end is great. So hopefully the last 2-3 streams of this game we do will be amazing. It just seems like we got to get through the final slog times. And it is what it is. If we're bored, we're bored. Double M says, no spoilers. There's not a lot left. You're nearly done with the game. There you go. So I hope, if today's the final boring segment, so be it. Let's get through the final boring segment. And let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the action and the end of the game, okay? I'd be excited to do that. So let's see how it goes, okay? Okay. Then tonight on the late stream, a little more exciting, I feel, because tonight it's going to be my community night in Street Fighter 6. Now, normally community night would be like a Sunday night, but we couldn't do it this week because the servers were down to prepare for Rashid's release yesterday. So tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it's a community lobby where we're going to be doing all kinds of fun gameplay against, with each other here. I'll be using a variety of characters. So this is my opportunity to play with guys I usually don't use. I'll probably use like Dalsim or Honda or Ryu. I'll probably throw in some Lily, some Geef. All right. Maybe I'll do a match or two of Blanca, only because tomorrow I'm playing with Blanca a whole stream, and I want to warm up a little bit, but I won't do too much. I definitely will not do too much Blanca, because obviously Blanca's my best character, and if I'm playing against people who are more casual in the game, they just want to have a game against a streamer, I don't want to be trouncing you. I want to give you a chance, and when I played last week, I lost a bunch, and that was fine. I don't care losing to the viewers. Who gives a shit? I don't have a big ego. Beat my ass. Who gives a fuck, right? As long as I'm learning or I'm having fun, then it's all good. So there you go. I'll probably pick some Rashid. I'll do a little bit of Rashid. We'll see. It'll be a good variety. I don't really use Marisa anymore in ranked, so now's the opportunity to maybe use a little bit of Marisa as well, right? We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's tonight. I'm excited for that. I always enjoy the fan lobby nights, the community nights. So come on by tonight, hang out with us, watch the gameplay, and join in if you have opportunity to. Let's have some matches, okay? Cool. The Walmart NPC in chat is telling me that I'm looking sexy today. Not sexy, sexy. There you go. Thank you. I tried to look as crispy as possible. I don't know if you do look. The hairline, the jawline. I got my jewelry on the outside of my branded pop culture shirt. I'm trying to look nice and crispy for you. Okay. So that's today. Tomorrow, my final consecutive streaming day of the week, the first stream will be Blanca's Road to Master. And what I mean by that is that the entirety of this 3+ hour gameplay stream will be ranked gameplay with Blanca, where I'm trying to level up and get him to Master. Now, he's currently in 4-star Diamond, but he's getting very close to 5-star. If I just get to 5-star Diamond tomorrow, that's an accomplishment. But if I can get him further, great. I don't think in 3 hours we're going to have enough gameplay and enough wins to get to Master. Just being honest, I don't think it's going to happen because there's a giant jump going from 4-star Diamond to Master, So I do feel like hopefully we can do really well and get as far as I can. But it's the road to Master. This is the way to get there. It should be very challenging. I'll be playing some of the best fighters in the game. I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. It should be fun. Tonight, I'm going to watch tech videos of Blanca. There's a few new ones that have come out. I'm going to try to learn some more strategies, like I said, and see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow night on the late stream, it's GTA 5, the anniversary run, continuing on. It's been a hit so far. The first 4 parts that I put out have all gotten great views on DSPGaming. People seem to be enjoying the content very much. I'm glad, and I hope that you'll join me tomorrow night for the continuation of that playthrough. I will say this. I'm getting tons of views on the streams. I'm getting tons of views on the videos. The support is not proportionate. And what I mean by that is, actually the last stream I did of the game was pretty dead for support. I would hope that if you were really enjoying this anniversary run playthrough that you would support it in some way. You know, I don't want to have it that every time I play GTA, we're all having a ball, but somehow it's like my slowest streams, and now I got to worry about the rest of the week, you know? I hope not. So if you could support it, please do. Thanks to those who have. All right? Okay, I'm off on Thursday. When I come back on Friday, we're doing stuff a little different. All right, listen up. We're not doing Street Fighter Friday. There's good reason, all right, that we're not doing Street Fighter All Day Friday. The first stream on Friday will be Final Fantasy 16. The late stream will be Friday Night Fights. So there will be Final Fantasy on Friday, and then Friday night will be Street Fighter 6. Well, why aren't you doing Street Fighter all day long on Friday? Because we're trying to finish Final Fantasy 16. And if we don't make a solid push to do it, we're never going to finish it and move on to better stuff that people want. In addition, we have a special event on Saturday. So that event's taking up a stream day. So I need to do Final Fantasy on Friday, or else we're not going to be able to play it again until like Monday or Tuesday, in which case we're making no progress with the game. So absolutely, I have to do that. Okay? So Friday, it'll be Final Fantasy first stream, and we'll have a ranked session, online play of some character in Street Fighter 6 on the late stream. What character? I'm leaning towards either Zangief or Lily, because right now, those two characters are very close to Diamond, and I'd love to get one of them into Diamond. All right? So let's see how I feel, and we'll have a nice late night, Friday night fights of Street Fighter on Friday. Okay? Saturday is my special event. It is the long form React, the Dark Side of Machinima event. All day long, this will be running on my React channel, wow. Let's try that again. All day long, this will be running on my React channel, DSP Reacts. It's my sister channel. At DSP Reacts is how you find that on YouTube, if you haven't checked it out yet, okay? So what are we doing during Saturday? Firstly, we're going to react to a hour-long documentary about Machinima as a company from June the King that he released about a month and a half ago. Apparently, it's really well done. I'm excited to watch and react to it. But in addition to that, I was one of the longest-running partners of Machinima. 6.5 years I was partnered with them before I finally severed ties and went on to be partnered with Curse for a bit, and then I went independent, okay? So, the good news about this is I have a crazy amount of knowledge and information, and I have receipts. I saved all my freaking emails with this company, or most of them at least. So I have all the correspondence that I ever had with this company, and I could show them all to you. We could talk about it. There's all these different things that happened with this company over the years of involvement that I had with them that I'd like to talk about on this show. So it's going to be fun because we're going to not only do a fun react to a documentary about them, but I'm going to have a whole giant half of my day talking about my own personal stories and experiences, finally with things to back it up, and I'm going to give you a full perspective of what it was like working with this company over the years, because let me tell you, it was like this. It was like one day it's amazing experience, you're getting all these cool benefits and support, and then the next day they don't even want to talk to you, and they throw you into a queue for help that doesn't respond for 2 weeks. It was just like, what the fuck kind of company is this? It was wild. And Jasper even knows, even though I didn't have Jasper when I was with Machinima, but he knows. And he wants to hear this too. Now, in addition to that, I'll be ordering some food. I haven't spoken with my wife yet about what it'll be, but we're going to order some food for a Feasting with Phil mukbang segment during the show as well. So that's going to take place, among other things. So it's going to be a fun show. Jasper Kitty. Jasper, look at the camera. He's not looking. He won't look. He never looks at the camera. He doesn't know to. But yeah, so that's going to be all day Saturday. Special React long-form event. I haven't done a long-form React event in like 3 or 4 months. So it'll be good for variety. There'll be a lot of content on DSP Reacts for a change, which will be good. And it'll break up all the gameplay I've been doing recently. It'll be a good variety, okay? Sunday, it's going to be my regular DSP versus the Internet Clips React show on the first stream. And then the late stream on Sunday will be GTA 5. We're going to do a GTA 5 late night. Or hold on. I think we're actually going to do Community Night on Sunday. Street Fighter Community Night. Yeah, I think we are. All right? And then Monday will be Street Fighter 6 on the day stream, and the night stream will be GTA. That's right. Because then Tuesday will be more Final Fantasy paired with, I don't even know. I might do Street Fighter, or I might actually do more. I might do 3 nights of GTA. I might actually do GTA Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this coming week. Like 3 nights of GTA 6. That might make sense. That might make a lot of sense, actually. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Saturday all day it's the Machinima event. Sunday it's my Clips React show and Community Night in Street Fighter 6. Monday it's Ranked Street Fighter 6 and GTA. Tuesday it's Final Fantasy 16 and GTA. And Wednesday it's Street Fighter 6 and GTA. There you go. That's a lot of GTA. 3 non-stop late night streams of GTA coming up next week. That way we get good progress. Okay, cool. Now, one other final thing, just to remind you guys. Next month, August, is going to be a very special month. During that month, I'm going to be covering a lot of anniversary-style content to celebrate my 15 years as a YouTuber. All right? We're going to be doing a retrospective marathon that you're going to nominate your favorite moments from over 15 years for me to watch back and react to live. We're going to have a Project 7 event where we're going to rewatch Project 7 together. There's going to be new decorations behind me to celebrate my anniversary as well. It's going to be a fun and special month for sure. So I certainly hope that you'll be around for it. You'll join me for it. It should be a good time. And I'm excited for it. We're going to have even throwback playthroughs. I want to do some classic games and things during that month too. All right? So, good stuff coming up this week. All right? News stories. If you can't notice, I'm trying to get through everything before we get to the LTG segment. 2 news stories. It is being reported that Silent Hill 2's remake, which is being made by Bloober Team, okay, will be 100% bigger than the original game. They're doubling the size of the game, adding in new content, expanding upon the size of the content of the original game. This is not a one-to-one direct upgrade with just graphical upgrades and visuals. It's actually going to be a whole new game. They're remaking it from the ground up, just like they've been doing in Capcom with the Resident Evil games. That sounds good to me. Seriously, that sounds really, really good. Because if they're remaking the game, I don't want to replay the same Silent Hill 2 again. So, I'm excited that this is what they're working on. But yeah, hey, why not make it a more complete game? Why not add in more side stories? Why not add in more spookiness? Or, you know, I don't know if I would like to see them add in new bosses and stuff. But to expand upon the world and make it a little bit more creepy or whatever, I feel like that would be really awesome. Okay? So anyway, that's going on. One other thing. There's an update about the Ubisoft situation. If you were watching my podcast a couple days ago, you know there's a news story where basically what's happened is Ubisoft is contacting people saying, hey, if you didn't log into your Ubisoft account in the last several years, you have to do so within 30 days. If you don't, we're deleting your account and deleting your access to any of the games that you have associated with the account. So let's say you owned a digital version of an Assassin's Creed game tied to an Ubisoft account, right? But you haven't logged into your Ubisoft account for like 3-4 years for whatever reason. You haven't played an Ubisoft game. If you don't log in within 30 days, they're going to delete it and you don't get your game anymore. Yeah, and at first people thought that was an exaggeration, but then they actually contacted Ubisoft support, and Ubisoft support confirmed it. They said, no, that's true. To follow up even further, all right, here's another follow-up that happened. It was confirmed again by Ubisoft support. Even if your game wasn't purchased through the Ubisoft online system. If, let's say, for example, you bought your games through Steam, okay, as the distributor, but that game also requires a login through the Ubisoft client or whatever it is to play. If you don't log into the Ubisoft client in the next 30 days, you will not even be able to play your games through Steam anymore. So it's not even games you only directly bought through Ubisoft. What is it, Uplay or whatever? No, it's all Ubisoft games. And they said, I mean, there's a tweet. Well, I guess it's not called a tweet anymore. Now it's called an X. So Ubisoft support made an X. Yeah, I know this sounds really stupid. They made an X. There it is. I'm reading it word for word from it. It says, we are not closing active accounts. However, if you decide to close your Ubisoft account, you will not be able to play your games, even if they have been bought through Steam. Okay? But then, yes, I know, made an X. As stupid as that sounds. Made an X. That's what they're called now. Really? People are saying they're being called Zeets. X-Eats? Wait, is it X-Eats or Zeets? If a word starts with an X, it's supposed to be pronounced like a Z, like xylophone. So is it pronounced Zeet or is it pronounced Exit? Elon Musk is a fucking idiot. He is the dumbest rich guy on the planet. Literally, he's a fucking bozo. Anyway, there was a follow-up to this story last night. Okay? The follow-up is thus. You ready? Ubisoft responded to the uproar surrounding their account closure policies. Now they're publicly claiming, listen to this. Now they're publicly claiming their support account is wrong. They're not going to delete any accounts which have purchased games attached to them. So let me get this straight. For weeks, they basically have been saying on their support accounts, we're closing your account. If you don't log into it, you'll lose access to all your games. Deal with it. Now all of a sudden, oh no, our support account is wrong. Then why have a fucking support account? If the support account doesn't know what they're talking about, why have it? You want to know what this reminds me of? Atlas. You remember many years ago what happened with me with Persona 5? So to give you some background, when Persona 5 was released, Atlas Japan came out with these very strict criteria of what any content creator or streamer could stream of the game. You could only stream up to a certain point. You could only show certain content. You couldn't show story content past another point and stuff like that. The good news was the point that they had picked was more than halfway through the game, so anyone had months to play through this and not really worry about it. And I was playing at a slower pace, so it wasn't going to affect me. So, Atlas America, or Atlas USA, whatever it's called, all they did is they translated the criteria from Japan into English. They put them out. And they have their own accounts and everything, on social media. So I'm playing through the game. I'm literally doing exactly what they've said. In fact, I'm far behind where they said you can stop. You have to stop. I'm behind all of that nonsense. I'm not even close to being near it yet. So I'm in the clear, right? I start getting copyright strikes. What the fuck? For what? For just basic gameplay. Basic gameplay, I'm getting copyright strikes. So I contact Atlas USA. And I say, what are you doing? Why am I getting these strikes? To which they respond, that's Atlas Japan. And apparently they don't know what they're doing. So they're striking you. And yes, these are erroneous. They never should have done that. We wish we had control over it. We don't, because they're just another part of our same company. And we don't basically talk with them. But we'll work to get those strikes resolved for you. So it sounds exactly the same as what's going on with Ubisoft. One hand doesn't talk to the other. They're each saying two different stories, and who knows who the fuck is right and who's wrong, but it's the same company. You want to talk about running a company ass fucking backwards? There's an example. Atlas doesn't know how to run their fucking company, and neither does Ubisoft. They just say one thing, do another. How does anyone know how to do anything? You're a bunch of fucking idiots, right? So now no one knows what's going to happen. Will games be deleted? Will they not be deleted? Do you need to log in? Who knows? It's stupidity. It's confusion. It's dumb. It shouldn't be like that. It's absolutely preposterously stupid. Okay? All right. So, that is game news, ladies and gentlemen. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me now to get to the topic many of you are here for, Low Tier God. Okay? To give you a very brief summary of where we are up to now, 2 days ago, I stumbled upon a Low Tier God video on YouTube. It was a 1-hour compilation from his stream. It was the first time I had ever watched anything like that. After watching the hour, I had some questions. Now, I didn't necessarily slam the guy or say anything too wild or inflammatory at all. In fact, I agreed with most of his opinions on Street Fighter 6 that he said in the video, but I had some very factual questions that I was interested in having answers to. For example, why does he quit to dashboard in the middle of fighting the game if he's getting hit by a super? I don't understand that, because it doesn't do anything. It's like he's not rage quitting. It doesn't affect the match. I don't get it. Why does he block every player? Even if he beats them, he blocks players and blacklists them. I don't understand that. Why is his stream layout so cluttered? I don't like it. I think it's ugly. Why does he find benefit in having a stream chat that literally just sits there and makes fun of him when he's playing the game, but he doesn't seem to realize it? Okay? Why does he have over 2,000 viewers every time he plays this game on Twitch, supposedly, but no one was contributing during his live streams? At least for the hour I saw, there was no contributions. I'm like, what's the point of having 2,000 viewers if everyone is there supposedly just to make fun of you? That's kind of a sad situation. So these were not me trying to slam the guy. I understand. This was like fact hunting. All right? I was just curious about answers, legit answers to the questions, right? I wasn't trying to insult him at all. I was just kind of fascinated by what I observed, and I just was looking for some answers, so I talked about it on my podcast 2 days ago. Okay? And fair enough, even my haters who like clip shit out of my podcast or whatever didn't really negatively spin it in a way that was unfair. They kind of said, here's what Phil said. It's kind of, tame. Curious what'll happen, right? But what's funny about it is, it seems like everyone kind of knew how LTG was going to react, despite the fact that I didn't insult him. I said nothing negative about the guy. They apparently knew how he is, okay? So, a night and a half ago, on his late night stream, LTG starts exploding and insulting me like a crazy assault of insults about my personal appearance, okay, my voice, how it sounds, the quality of my stream visually. He insulted my camera, he insulted my background, right? Then he very oddly, in a very weird way, brought up the fact that I turned down a podcast for Keemstar for $50,000. He mentions it like 6 times in his unhinged 10-minute rant about me. And it's so bizarre because it has absolutely nothing to do with the topic at hand, but he keeps mentioning it, okay? He says things that I need to work on my sexy. Yes, he actually says another man should work on his sexy on his stream. This is what he's saying. I'm not putting words in his mouth. He literally said that, okay? If you want to see the whole thing, check it out. I literally did a live react to it yesterday on this very show. That was the majority of the podcast yesterday, okay? So after live reacting to it, I was pretty confused. I was like, so let me get this straight. He never watched my podcast. He doesn't even know what I said about his stream. He literally took it upon himself that just because he heard DSP said something about LTG, that he would go on a 10-minute insult-laden rant against me for no fucking good reason at all, and think that that was okay. That I was going to be happy about that. That I was just going to accept it, and I was just supposed to lay back and take it because he can do whatever he wants, right? So after reacting to that yesterday and telling a lot of very telling things, I think, about him, I think he needs to see a psychiatrist, quite frankly, with some of the stuff he was saying there. Basically, I laid it down. I said, listen, I don't know what he thinks because he says there's some narrative. Someone's pushing a narrative, supposedly. I don't know what this narrative is, all right? For some reason, he thinks I'm clout chasing him. I'm not clout chasing the man. I literally watched an hour video about his content. I had just questions about it that were very tame questions. I don't know where the clout chasing was there. I had already established the fact that this guy was probably never going to want to do any kind of matches or anything against me. This is all established. So where he seems like he has this weird, like, complex in his head about me that he can't get over. And so you're pushing a narrative. What narrative? There's no narrative at all. You made up the narrative in your fucking head, or other people are bullshitting you, telling you there's a narrative when there's no narrative. I don't even know what because again, he never actually explains it. He just keeps saying that over and over, right? It's very confusing. Okay? So, anyway, after having reacted to all that yesterday, I laid down the law. I said, it's this simple. You're going to fucking talk about me for 10, 15 minutes. You're going to insult me constantly. All stuff that literally has nothing to do with anything I said about you. That's fucked up. So, the only content that we could ever do together that would be beneficial would be to do a grudge match of Street Fighter 6. And I think that we should do it because I think that it's going to be something that our fans want to see, our viewers want to see. I say fans and viewers because they're kind of different. Sometimes you have a fan base, but you also have a hater base, right? Like, I think our haters would equally like to see us face off at Street Fighter 6 as much as our fans. And it would be hype, and everyone would want to see it, right? I even proposed, let's make this big business. Let's get this so hype. Let's do it during EVO. While EVO is going on and they're doing their qualifying rounds of bullshit, instead of watching the paint dry, people could jump over to our streams and watch us fight. And people would be hyped. I said, how much you want to bet if we did this during EVO? People at fucking EVO would say, fuck EVO. I'm going to watch this shit on my phone right now. Everyone's going to be sitting there watching it on their phones because they want to see it because it's so hype, right? So I made this proposition. Let's do it. And the thing is, during his 10-minute unhinged rant, he basically said, well, the only way I would ever do anything with Darkside Phil is if I got paid $5,000. So I even said this. Get that from your viewers because you have supportive viewers. Are you not aware of that? I mean, the guy has 3,000 paid subs on Twitch. He's making bank every month on Twitch just by streaming. So if that's the case, I'm pretty sure your viewers would love to see you do a grudge match and they would support it. If they like you so much, why wouldn't they support you? So let them support you. Let them give you $5,000 to do this grudge match. and let's fucking Trump Evo. Seriously, let's just Trump that shit. Let's actually get more attendance and more interest on our stream than the Evo stream. All right? So that's where we left it yesterday. And I even said, I'm done talking about it now. Unless there's more developments, I'm not going to be talking about this topic again because there's no point. If he just ignores it and I ignore it, then it's dead. But, you know, unless there's developments. If there's developments, I'll talk about them again. Well, there's developments, okay? There's actually 2 developments that have happened, okay? So let's talk about those developments this morning. Development number 1. I was contacted by someone, and I am fascinated by the information that was presented to me. Now, keep in mind, this is just information that was presented to me. I really don't have any way to vet or confirm this information, all right? But I received an email from someone, and I'm going to read it word for word. I'm not even going to spin it in a way. I'm literally going to read the email word for word for you guys. You ready? Why LTG is bitter about the 50K. Wings was once asked if LTG should replace you on the podcast. Wings stated that he suggested being a good replacement, but Keemstar rejected it, saying LTG wouldn't work. Word for word from the email that I received. So for background of this, because if you're wondering, what is this podcast? Why the hell is LTG talking about a $50,000 podcast? So apparently last year, Keemstar wanted to do a podcast with me, Boogie, and Wings of Redemption. He was going to call it the Lol Cow Cast, all right? He was going to pay us each $50,000 to do it, and then we were going to own a portion of the podcast, so if it became profitable, we were going to make money ongoing from this. However, Keemstar failed to be professional, failed to contact me in any kind of a human way because he's a fucking idiot. He thinks that everything revolves around him. So my whole life schedule and my business and everything should be dropped just to talk to this man who I really want no association with whatsoever. I think he's a fucking clown. He's a degenerate. I hate the content he puts out. I would never want to be associated with him. So basically it never happened, okay? So then what happened was Keemstar wouldn't let it go. He kept talking about it publicly. He lied. Earlier this year, he lied, saying that I still have a chance to be on the show. I was like, dude, I don't want to be on your fucking show. I've said it a million times. Doesn't matter how many times you say it. Then he lied and said things like he was going to get someone else to do it. Guess what? Guess what, guys? It's July 2023. There's still no podcast, okay? So if anything, what this shows is that he had an idea. Without me, the idea won't work. And so it's never going to happen. Okay, if it does happen, great. More power to them. I told them, do the pod. Why is it months and months later and the podcast still didn't happen? Because they needed me for it. All right, they know that. They know I was the thing that was hinging the whole fucking thing and gluing it together. And without me, they have no show. So anyway, what ended up happening was for a short period of time, Keemstar was talking online saying, "Who do you guys think should be the replacement for DSP on the podcast?" And a lot of names came up, like Review Tech USA and stuff. And I guess LTG was one. And from what I'm being told here, you know, Wings was basically sold that LTG would work, and he talked to Keemstar, and Keemstar said, no, LTG would not work for this show, all right? So why is LTG angry about the 50K? Because he didn't get it. He didn't get offered it, right? So he's mad salty because he wanted that bag. He wanted that payday, and he's not offered the payday because no one wants him on the podcast. You know, again, if you're looking at value added and whatever, people are looking at it and saying that wouldn't add the value to the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing there. Is there an association between me and LTG? Well, we're both fighting game players. I'm a washed up one, right? He's kind of like, he was at one point kind of competitive. He's not anymore, right? But now he's prominent online. I used to be in the tournament scene. I'm not anymore. I'm washed up. But at least we have association. You understand? Like, we do. We have the fighting game thing as our association, right? What relation does LTG have to Wings of Redemption or Boogie? Zero. Like, literally zero. He wouldn't be able to relate. That show wouldn't work. I agree. If you ask my opinion, it wouldn't work on that show. It would be like worlds colliding and making no sense. It's like, you know, trying to mix I don't know, you know, peanut butter with olive oil or something. You know, it's like, yuck. It's going to be a messy, it's not going to mix. It's going to be disgusting, right? You don't want that. So, you know, I get it. But I think he's pissed. I think he's actually pissed off because he wanted that money. So he's holding it against me that I didn't take the money, but then he couldn't take the spot that I didn't take. right? He's mad about that. Why are you mad at me? Why are you projecting that onto me? Be mad at yourself that no one wants you on the show. Not me. I'm not the reason you're not on the show. How about this? Wings, Boogie, Keemstar, put LTG on the podcast. Make the podcast together. Give the man $50,000 and allow him to be on the show. Do it. There. I want it. Give you the blessing. Take the money. But don't fucking project it on me. I have nothing to do with that. Why are you mad at me? Why are you salty at me because I turned it down because I want nothing to do with Keemstar? Like, what are you, out of your mind? That's fucking stupid. You say, you call me dumb. No, I'm not dumb because I don't want to be roped into something for the rest of my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be roped into something forever. I don't. So, forget that shit. I have the ability to pass up on an offer. So do you, right? You're apparently passing up on any offers about doing stuff with me, so I have the ability to pass up on an offer for Keemstar. There's no criticism there. You have no right to criticize me for saying that I don't want to do something I didn't want to do, and you have no right to project that on me because you're salty because you want the money, okay? Now, in addition to that, there's another big follow-up, ladies and gentlemen, all right? And this is really the reason why I'm talking about this today, not the email, because the email is just speculation, right? So, after my podcast yesterday, all right, obviously all the haters clipped it. It was all over the internet, tens of thousands of views everywhere, right? And, of course, here's the thing. I would say, oh, LTG got wind of it and watched it, and then he responded. No. Do you want to know what happened? You ready for this? Here's what actually happened. You ready for this? LTG DM'd me on Xer. Not Twitter anymore. It's Xer or X. He DM'd me on the X app. Okay? Would you like to know what he said? Sure. I'm going to show you what he said right now. I'm going to show it to you word for fucking word. All right? This is what he sent me yesterday. Okay? Keep in mind, I've not DM'd this guy since June when Street Fighter 6 came out, and I said, hey, just so you know, I'm always open to a match if you ever want to do one, even though I know you're probably not interested. It was a very friendly DM that I sent him in like mid-June. Okay? So I haven't talked to this guy in a month and a half. This is what he sends me yesterday on X. Stop clout chasing, bro. If you want to play me. If you want to play me in anything, so I guess it's a grammar error. If you want to play me in anything, it's going to cost you $5K. But what about the 5 bands? I'm curious. I thought he wanted 5 bands. This pisses me off because I was actually contacting local bands here in Seattle that I was going to send to him to perform, but now he wants 5K, not 5 bands. So that's a little upsetting because I did all that extra work by accident. This is sad AF. Stop mentioning me and upgrade your streams. Godspeed. Okay? So, here's the thing. Read that again. Stop clout chasing, bro. Clout chasing. Let's analyze this message. Okay? Let's actually tear it apart. Clout chasing. LTG actually thinks I'm clout chasing him. LTG actually in his own mind thinks that there's clout associated with him to chase. He is living in a parallel universe. He actually thinks people care about him and that associating with him is somehow clout worthy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He really has absolutely no concept of reality. He thinks in his head that because he has a crispy hairline and a peanut butter complexion and he works out every day and he has a deep voice and he has the godlike setup and he has the HD camera, that he has clout. He has no clout at all. Zero. He doesn't even have enough clout to be offered to be on the Lol Cow podcast. But he thinks I'm clout chasing him. I made a small segment on my podcast commentating about a stream of his that I watched an hour snippet of. And all I had was a few common, tame, unwild questions about it. And he thinks that's clout chasing him. Okay? Interesting. Let's continue. If you want to play me in anything, well, I'd like to play you in Street Fighter. I want to play you. But if you want to play me in anything, it's going to cost $5K. Okay? Let's analyze this portion of the DM. Okay? It's going to cost $5,000. Okay? LTG, I have something very important I need to tell you now. I hope people will clip this portion of the stream. Please do. And make sure he sees it. LTG, Mr. Low Tier God, I have something I need to tell you. It's very important, okay? Please listen. There's absolutely nothing in this realm of existence, this plane of existence, this dimension of the multiverse, this planet, this country, the state you live in, the city you live in, the town you live in the home you live in, on the stream you stream. There is nothing at all that someone would ever pay you $5,000 for. At all. There's not $5,000 of value that you could provide. Do you understand? No one will ever pay you that much money for anything in your life. So it's time to give up on that. I don't know why you think that someone's going to pay you $5,000 to do a match or to be on a stream. No one's ever going to do that for you, okay? It's never going to happen. No one's going to pay you $50,000 to be on the Lalcow cast. No one's going to pay you $5,000 for a Street Fighter grudge match. You don't have that value. Do you understand? You get it? I hope this is like a big smack to the face, and maybe you can wake up now and realize your true value. You have value to an audience on the internet, but it's not a $5,000 payday. That's absolutely ludicrous to ask for that from anyone. No one would pay you that much money for anything you would ever, any service you would provide on this planet. No one would pay you that much money. It's time to have more realistic expectations. You ever watch the old skit on SNL? It was called Lowered Expectations, and it was a running joke where people would be like, well, I guess I got to settle if I want to find a partner because, I'm never going to find anyone who's like perfect. It's time to lower your expectations, all right? If you really want something, be more reasonable. 5K is never going to happen because no one values you that much. Do you understand that? This is not me insulting you. I swear to God, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to give you reality here. No one likes you enough that they're going to pay you $5,000 for anything. Period. Okay, let's continue. This is sad as fuck. For you it is, because you literally didn't even see what I said on my show, but you still slammed me for 10 minutes, completely unrelated to anything that I said. Stop mentioning me and upgrade your streams. Now, this is great. Once again, I said I would not mention the guy again if nothing came of it. But you contacted me with a really stupid DM, all right? And he said, upgrade your streams, okay? We already went through this yesterday. My streams look better than LTG's. My streams are clean. They don't have a bunch of clutter on the screen. My camera quality is better than his. My backgrounds are better than his. My entire setup's better than his. He doesn't get that because he hasn't seen my streams in like a year. So he's thinking back to the old setup. He's not looking at the new stuff. You know what I mean? So, what are you talking about? Seriously, what on earth are you talking about? You don't know, you're talking literally out of your ass. So this is hilarious. Here's the ending. Godspeed. And with lickety-split Godspeed, LTG proceeded to ban me and block me on the X app so I can't actually respond. Because the truth is, I would have just responded directly to him and not shown you this today. I would have actually just, let's have a gentleman's conversation and talk about it. But instead, he blocked me. So why would you send me this and say, hey, for $5,000, I'll be in your content, but then block me so there's no way that I could actually respond and say anything about it? What if I actually was going to say, okay, yeah, all right, $5,000, that's reasonable. Pfft, that's reasonable. Let's have you in my content, right? So he just blocks. So now the only venue that I have to talk to this man is this right now, publicly speaking to you on a stream that will now end up being clipped and restreamed and made into a joke because you shut off the opportunity for reasonable conversation because you're a fucking idiot. Okay? So now it's time to get a little real. All right? All right? Let's get a little real now. All right? LTG, you fucked up. All right? I was being very reasonable. I was being very nice to you. I had calm, very commonplace, non-accusatory, non-criticizing questions about your content. All right? That's all it was. I had no problem with you at all. And you took it upon it yourself to do a 10-minute rant about my personal appearance, about the quality of my streams, about a million things about me that were all unqualified, including continuously bringing up a 50K podcast, which obviously you're incredibly jealous you're never going to get offered. You fucked up because you took the first step towards a public feud. Now, I don't like feuds. I don't want to be involved in a fucking public feud at all. I don't want to go back and forth with you endlessly because that's a waste of everyone's fucking time. The only reason that I would ever involve myself in something like this is because I feel like we can get something out of it. All right? So, I have some recommendations for you. All right? I want you to reassess your own streams. Since you're going to give it to me, allow me to give a little bit back to you. All right? You know how when you're criticizing yourself and you're praising yourself and you say, I don't want to talk to anyone. All right? Because I don't want to talk to you if you don't go to the gym every day. I don't want to talk to you if you got a high-pitched voice. I don't want to talk to you. If you're going to criticize people, all right, at least use proper, like descriptive adjectives. Use proper vocabulary. For example, something was nagging me yesterday. After I watched your video, all right, your 10-minute rant against my looks, something just kept nagging me badly. And it was just the references you were making. Peanut butter complexion. You actually kept saying peanut butter complexion against yourself like it's something positive, okay? Do you know what peanut butter is? You understand what it is? It's fat, it's oils, it's grease, and it's all smashed together into this ooey, sticky paste. You ever actually touch peanut butter? You know what it feels like? It's gross. It's disgusting. You get it on, you're like, oh, it's stuck on my hands. I gotta go wash my hands. I can't get it off. There's peanut butter all over me. It gets stuck to the roof of your fucking mouth when you eat peanut butter. It tastes good, but it's actually gross. It's like I said, when you say peanut butter complexion to me, right? I think you're taking peanut butter, like chunky Peter Pan or Jif peanut butter, and you're like spreading it on your face, and you got these big lumps of peanuts stuck all over your head, and it looks like you're covered in fucking giant zits, big infected zits ready to pop. When you say peanut butter complexion, it makes you think your skin is gross. That's the worst adjective you could use. Stop using it. Say, I have a clean complexion. I have a nice, smooth complexion, acne-free. Then I would understand what you're saying. If you're saying peanut butter, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. You sound like an asshole, okay? Let's do something else. You know something you kept saying that really drove me nuts? A nice, crispy hairline. Nice, solid, crispy jawline. He loves the word crispy, okay? Now, when he's saying that, what he's meaning is my hairline is neat, symmetrical. Look at my face. My face is like proper, like if you know geometrically proper. My hairline is good. He kept bringing up my hairline, how my hairline's fucked up right here. See how fucked up this is? Yeah, he keeps bringing that up. But he's like the crispy hair, crispy, okay? Crispy. Do you know what the word crispy even means? Okay? Crispy is referring to something that has been cooked or scorched to the point that when you touch it or you bite into it, it makes a crackling or crisping sound or sensation. That's what the word crispy means, all right? The word you're looking for is crisp. A crisp hairline, a smooth and equal hairline, a crisp jawline, not crispy. The only way that your appearance is crispy is if you're dumping your fucking head in a deep fryer every morning before you go to stream. So what the fuck are you talking about? You're not crispy, dumbass. You're crisp. Use the right fucking words. You sound like an idiot every time you open your fucking mouth and you say something dumb like this. Fucking grow up and use an iota of the I know you're intelligent. I know you're an intelligent dude. But you say the dumbest shit and you're trying to use it as an insult against someone. Say the right fucking words, you moron. Like, seriously. Shut the fuck up about other people's appearance if you can't even describe your own in a way that makes any kind of fucking logical sense to the audience you're talking to. 90% of the people listening to you are laughing at you because they don't know what the fuck you're saying. 5 bands, crispy, what the fuck? Get a fucking dictionary. Get a thesaurus. Jesus. So, now that that's been, I got that out of my way. Let me get this fucking stupid fucking thing off. Okay? Now, I'd like to finish this in a way that it's going to kind of be productive rather than destructive. All right? You fucked up. You insulted me for absolutely no reason. You didn't have to, but you just thought, oh, it's free reign for me to just say and do whatever the fuck I want. Wrong. Wrong. You don't just get to say and do whatever the fuck you want on this planet without consequences. You know? Consequences have actions, pimp. So, it's this simple. Play me in Street Fighter 6. Stop being a bitch. Stop making excuses. Stop demanding unreasonable money that no one's ever going to pay you because no one values you that much. Play me in fucking Street Fighter 6. Let's make it a rivalry. Let's make it one of the most epic Street Fighter 6 rivalries ever. Let's make it the big first rivalry ever. Let's do it. Evo weekend. Play me first to 10. We'll lay down some rules. We'll make sure that both parties agree and both of our fan bases and hater bases are on the same page. It'll be one of the most streamed events ever in Street Fighter 6. People will be super fucking hyped for it. Let's do it. Or shut the fuck up forever and sit there on your stupid stream, rage quitting the dashboard, blocking everyone, playing the same 5 players because you blocked everyone else on planet Earth, losing. There's a reason why you're 2-star fucking diamond after 2 months, because you lose all the time and you can't deal with loss. It's like I say to everyone, the only way to be a winner is to become a good loser, to learn from your losses. Now, that's a little hypocritical from me because I rage a lot when I lose, but I regroup, I come back, and here I am, actively progressing and getting better and better at Street Fighter 6. For the first time in ages, I'm actually getting good at a fighting game again. You don't have that ability. You just sit there and you just make it all about yourself and your looks. Oh, I don't care if I lost. I'm crispy. Oh, you're real crispy, man. You're all about your sexy, but you suck at Street Fighter 6. So, either play me or shut the fuck up and you'll be a little bitch on your stream forever. It's that simple. If you had kept your mouth shut and not sat there insulting me for no fucking reason, we wouldn't be here. But now, you either play me or you're my bitch forever. So what's it going to be? We'll see what he says. Let me get rid of this stupid fucking thing. And the truth is, I don't think he's going to accept. You want to know why? Because Vizant made him his bitch, years and years ago. Same situation. Dude talking out of his ass, not knowing what the fuck he's talking about. And, Vizant had enough of it. He's challenged him. They went to a tournament and he beat his ass. And what happened? Oh, well, I never benefit anything from that, so I'll never do it again. It's like, well, then shut your mouth. If that's the case, if you realize that you didn't benefit anything from it, then keep your fucking mouth shut about other people. The thing is, he thinks he's punching down at me. Dude, you're not punching down. It's just that I never strike back. I let everyone talk shit about me, and I never, ever fight back. I'll be the bigger man. In this case, you really pissed me off. Why? Because there was no reason for you to go off on me like you did. You're an asshole. So now you're going to pay for it, because you're either my bitch, or I'm going to beat you in Street Fighter 6. Either way, I win. So what's it going to be? You're going to be a man, or you're going to be the bitch of the internet forever. Let's see if you're man enough. All right. I'm done. That's it. That's literally the last thing I have to say about it. Again, if he accepts, I'd love it. I would love to have this grudge match, all right? And if he doesn't accept, well, oh well. There's nothing that can be done. We move on, and Bitch Boy moves on with his life, and, But at least he'll be crispy, Bitch Boy, right? Okay. Well, guys, I got it off my chest. It's now time for shout-outs, and then we'll actually get to Final Fantasy 16 today. All right. So, let's start with YouTube side contributions, shall we? So we start with Mango, who did a super chat, and he says, is this becoming drama content? Keep in mind, I didn't make the drama content. I'm not the one who went on a 10-minute rant against him. I didn't rant against him at all. I was being honest and reasonable. I have a right to watch someone else's content and comment over it like anyone else. Everyone has the right to do it. It's legal. It's fine. I wasn't insulting the guy. Everyone agreed on that podcast that I was very reasonable. I wasn't insulting him or nothing. But he went on an unhinged rant because he's a fucking idiot. He just thinks he has free reign to do whatever he wants. He thought he was punching down and he could get away with it. Sorry, bitch. No, you can't just do that. Okay? That's not reality. So, it is what it is. Let's see here. Covenant Lazarus did a super chat and says, LTG is banned from EVO, that's why he's mad. See, I didn't even know that. I had no clue he's banned from EVO. I didn't know what he would have done to get banned from EVO or whatever, right? Whatever. The thing is, I have absolutely no desire to be in the competitive fighting game community. I've said this many times. I have no desire to be hanging in that community. I don't want to go to tournaments. I'm happy to play the game online, get good at it, have fun, right? That's it. That's all I care about. Just having fun with my viewers and being able to maybe say, hey, I understand fighting games again. But I guess for him, it's a big thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know the guy. I don't want to talk out of turn here and be unlike him being unfair to me constantly because he doesn't even watch my shit and he's going to talk out of his ass about it. I don't know the real situation. I have no idea why he was even, why he was banned. So, Bloomkid did a super chat. He says, this is someone who's a fan. Stop this while you're ahead. It won't end well. It'll backfire. Dude, it's either we play or we don't. If we don't, you know me. I'm not one to harp on shit. I'm not. I've laid down the challenge. The challenge is laid down. The time frame is laid down. Everyone wants to see it. Let's be honest. By the way, I forgot about this. Someone sent me this last night. I didn't ask for this. Someone fucking just sent me this last night and said, look how hype this would be. Use this. I totally forgot about this. Okay? Yeah. So people want to see this. They've wanted this for years. I mean, to give you an example here, all right? Seriously, to give you an example here, all right? Basically, years and years ago, there was one match. I was playing like Street Fighter 4, and it was a random match. I think it was like a new character release. I don't even know who, Relento or something. It was a new character release, and I didn't know how to use the character or anything yet. And I guess LTG, who I didn't even know who he was, I don't know about any prominent people in the fighting game community or anything, he played me randomly in a ranked match, and he beat me pretty resoundly because I didn't know what I was doing with this new character, so he beat my ass. And this video apparently has like 900,000 views or something like that on YouTube. People, oh, DSP versus LTG, and I never even knew about it. People told me about this years later. They were like, did you know you played LTG? I was like, who? LTG, who's now prominent because of the rivalry with Vizant and all of that. And I was like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. You know, I don't even know who the guy is. You know what I'm saying? I shook my shoulders. People want it. People have wanted this for ages. So you give the people what they fucking want. No? Why wouldn't you? It's just a match of Street Fighter. It's not a big deal. I don't understand it. And by the way, that would end it too. Because then once it happens, people can just stop talking about it forever. And we can all move on. Right? There you go. Let's see. Brad actually says there's a video of you beating him in Street Fighter 4 ranked. That's in a Connecticut tournament playlist from 2010. Oh, see, I don't care. Sure, I would believe you. I know he beat me because I've seen that video, but I'm sure, who gives a shit? None of this matters. Anyway, Zway did a super chat, says this promo has given me shades of the King of Hate. Haha. Well, thumbs up, but you know, those days are past me. I used to be like this all the time in the fighting game community. It's exactly true. This is how it was in the fighting game community. People always talking shit about each other. I think LTG's stuck in that mode. He thinks that the internet is like the fighting game community. It's not. Like, he's just talking shit about me for no reason. Now you got to deal with the repercussions. Okay? Okay. Let's see here. Mango did a super chat. He says, Phil, make You're My Bitch Forever a new chat emote. No. Lunchmeat did a super chat. He says, can we recrown you the King of Hate? No. Mango did a super chat. He says, please make You're My Bitch Forever the new chat emote. No. Mango Jewel Paws did another super chat. He says, please make You're My Bitch Forever the new chat emote. No. Tiak Yak did a super chat. He says, you handled this well. I don't think he's going to accept, but you put your nuts on the table. Very nice, Phil. I put my giant nuts on the table? Wow. I've never heard it quite phrased like that before, but okay. Mango did a super chat. He says, please make You My Bitch Forever your new chat emote. No. Covenant Lazarus did a super chat. Says, LTG has been begging for a Kick streaming contract for a month. That's neither here nor there. Peanut Butter Rent Free says, obvious clout chase, you started this. I started nothing. I commented calmly and rationally and had legit questions about his streaming setup. I said nothing insulting about the man whatsoever. Not about his complexion, not about anything. I was just curious questions. And he insulted me for 10 minutes straight as a result. He's the one who started this, not me. All he needed to do was say nothing or actually watch the clip in question and respond to it rationally. Apparently, the man doesn't understand what rational thought is, and that's the problem. Again, Joey Rivera, sad attempt to bait someone. There's no bait. There's no bait here. Either he plays me or he doesn't. If he doesn't, I don't care. I move on with my life as always. I'm not even going to mention this again unless he brings it up again. If he literally doesn't want to do it and he wants to be a bitch forever, just don't mention it ever again. Never say my name again, and we're done. But if he brings it up, well, you know, I have the right to retaliate too and say stuff back. All right? And Covenant Lazarus did another super chat, and he says, well, he's talking about his real name, and he's lying about his age. I don't care about any of that. I really don't care about any of that. That's neither here nor there. That has absolutely nothing to do with the situation. See, that's what actually is bullshit, too. What's the situation? I did absolutely nothing to get his ire. He insulted me for 10 minutes. Now I struck back and challenged him to Street Fighter 6. That's the situation. Nothing personal. Nothing. We're not getting impersonal. We're not involving personal shit. You don't do that. That's when people overstep their bound. Oh, we're going to get involved with all this personal shit. No. That's stupid. Don't involve any personal shit. I don't want to hear about his fucking real name and exposing him for this and no, none of that shit. Bullshit. Shut up about that. Really, like that pisses me off because that shit that people have done to me over the years all the time, that doesn't need to happen. It's a bunch of bullshit. Just ignore it, okay? Ignore that nonsense. Let's not get involved with that personal shit. It's either it's him and me in Street Fighter or it's nothing and we just ignore it, okay? Good. Very good. All right. So that's the super chat side of things, but let's get the latest super chat on there. Okay. So, overnight, I received a $10 tip, and it's anonymous. So, thank you to an anonymous $10 tipper. I really appreciate that. I don't know who you are, because there was no message attached to it. But thank you. Whoever that was, I appreciate that. Let's get a nice animation for you. Get it up on the leaderboard here. I don't know if you appreciate that Zelda kiss. By the way, all animations will change for August. We'll get rid of these Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Diablo animations. They'll go back to more generic animations in August, just so you guys know. You know, that was because summer games, but now those are going to be ending. I will keep the Street Fighter one, though, because I do like the Street Fighter animation. But the other ones are going to go away. All right, so here's the deal. I received a tip from Game Tracker, but he specifically has requested that I read it and I count it towards the late stream, because the late stream Street Fighter. He can't be here later tonight, so I will do Game Tracker that's solid, and, you know, that will be applied to later tonight. That will not be applied to today. I'll remember that, and we'll count that for the Street Fighter 6 community lobby later tonight. Okay? But I did receive, hold on, a $2 tip from Thanos, who says, "Get 'em DSP." Well, thank you, Thanos, for the $2 tip. Okay. Got through shoutouts, and now we got a little bit of extra time. Maybe like 10 minutes if you guys want to do a little bit of Q&A before we start with gameplay. All right. Monk, thank you for a 12-month re-upping of your membership. He says, how's it going? It's going pretty good. All things considered, it's going pretty good. I want to get progress in Final Fantasy. I'm actually excited for the fan lobby tonight, so it should be a good day. Jade, how you doing? He says he's going to talk to me and chat if it's cool. Yeah, Jade, it's always cool to have you here chatting it up. How you doing today? Double M says, can we get GTA 5 tip animations? Good question. Hey, I've told you guys, sadly, I just don't have capability to make animations. I don't have software for it. I don't have the skill for it. If anyone out there wanted to do some GTA 5 related animations as we play the game over the month of August and we could have those for tips or whatever, I'd be down for that. I would love to implement that into my streams. Let me know. Okay? Okay. Excuse me. Is LTG being sent by other groups or individuals? I think, Mlock, what you're meaning to say is he being, like, led astray or being fed bullshit? Yeah, I do believe he is. Or, it could be one of two things. Either he's completely unhinged, and the moment anyone even mentions his name, and he doesn't even know if it's positive or negative, he just explodes. Maybe that's the case. But, you know, I'm fighting back because I'm not taking his shit. I'm nobody's bitch. All right? Or, it could be that he's being fed a line of bullshit. It could be that people are actually telling this guy that I'm insulting him constantly, and I'm not. I literally never bring up LTG. I randomly saw an hour of his gameplay. I have a right to at least talk cursory about it at a very, you know, calm level. No insults, which I didn't insult the fucking guy. I was curious. I had genuine questions about it that I was trying to get answers about. People gave me some answers that made sense, right? So I don't understand where he comes from doing that, but I really do feel like perhaps he is being fed a lot of lies by his fans. And when I do that, because there's different kinds of fans. There's fans who are nice people, who are there to have a good time, and they have your good intentions at heart. Then there's fans who are there to feed you bullshit and create drama and inflammatory situations so they can sit back and laugh at the chaos they've created. And I feel like that's the situation that's happened here. That people fed him bullshit, so he's like, oh my god, DSP insulted me, I gotta go off on him. And then he goes off on me, and the next thing you know, it was unwarranted, and now the situation happens, right? That's what I'm thinking anyway. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, I don't know. Again, I don't know this guy that well. What's funny is the restreamer did. Remember when we watched the clip yesterday? The restreamer pauses the video. He goes, so he's going to mention how old he is. He's going to mention he's white. He's going to mention he has bad facial hair. He's going to mention his hairline. He's going to mention this. He literally knew everything he was going to say. So apparently this is the normal shtick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Anyway. Izzy Jones 19 says, I wouldn't call LTG a boy. That's not cool. Who called him a boy? I don't remember calling him a boy. He's not a boy. He's a man. He deserves to be called a man. Synthetic Derangement says, the things people say about you isn't the same realm as what you said about LTG. No shit. All I'm saying about LTG is, sadly, he's all about his own personal shit, his own looks and shit. And that's sad. It is. That he thinks all of existence is about that. It's not. Especially when you're a gameplay streamer. No one cares about that, but he thinks that's what it is. That's really the one criticism I have for the guy. I don't know anything else about him. You know? I think, is it lame that he's quitting to dashboard and blocking people? Of course it is, but I think, again, that's his shtick on Street Fighter 6. That's how people laugh at him, and that's why he gets 2,000 viewers on Twitch, because no one else is doing that, right? What is a B-boy? Do you consider yourself a B-boy? Oh, well, if I knew what that was, maybe I would answer. I don't even know what that means. No, I've never ridden on a yak, Willow, but thanks for the question. See, a lot of people are saying that he has a complex. That his complex is that for some reason he hates being called the Black DSP. Again, I never called him that. I don't understand the association. Outside of the fact that back in the day, we both used to rage like crazy at Street Fighter, right? I mean, that was part of my shtick, admittedly. Overreacting to Street Fighter, getting crazy, and you know, constantly swearing, insulting the players and all of that constantly. Today, do I do that? Well, I criticize. And yes, I yell and scream, but then I cool down and, you know, I go back to being normal. But that's the thing. I get so full of adrenaline when I'm playing Street Fighter that I get upset about shit, right? You know, but purposefully, I'm not going to, you know, say personal insults about the person. I'll say, they suck. Yeah, you're a button masher. You're mashing jab. You beat everything. Random drive impact. You beat everything. That's one thing. That's criticizing the game, the person's play, right? I used to be way worse than that, for sure. For sure, I used to be way worse than that, right? But I think what people are saying, like, for example, Bet the House is, he basically took over your role when you abandoned Street Fighter V. So for a whole generation in Street Fighter, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that kind of commentary. I wasn't being that offensive guy playing Street Fighter, and he took over the role, so now people say that he's me. I guess that kind of makes sense, I guess, because now I don't, you know, I'm not doing that, you know, so I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, I think it's time to let go. He's not me, I'm not him, we're two different people. People should stop with that shit. In reality, you know, the reason they probably do is because it bothers them. They're only doing it because they know it bothers him, so they're going to keep doing it as long as it keeps bothering him. If he would learn to not let it bother him, then they probably would stop doing it. Right? I hear you, Jade. He says he's doing good. He doesn't love Final Fantasy 16 because it's too long and slow, but he is loving the overall story. I wouldn't still be playing Final Fantasy 16 if I wasn't enjoying the overall story and wanted to see it be resolved. So I'm on the same page as you. Synthetic Derangement says, if LTG accepts your challenge, it'll be highly beneficial for both of you. Just by LTG accepting the match, it would show growth of character. Well, that's your opinion. Thanks for sharing. How is the family doing today? They're doing all right. Jasper was around here. He was here earlier. You saw he jumped on the chair. I don't know where he is now. He's somewhere in the house. The door's open, so he's probably wandering the house. No, I did not hear about a new Marvel 2 cabinet from Arcade 1-Up that cost $1,000, and nor would I be interested. I already told you about what I feel about the quality of the Arcade 1-Up cabinets. They're pretty poor, and I would not want one, nor would I promote one for anyone because they're pretty bad from what I've seen. I saw one in person. It was a piece of junk. And then people who had the other one said it was a piece of junk. So, you know. Okay, so we'll leave it at this because we're about to end the show. I said my piece again. I'm done with this now. I mean, I would respond. Again, I would have personally responded to LTG privately, and none of this would have been made public, except that he blocked me. So the only way for me to respond to him was to do it publicly like this, so that's his fault. I would have just, like a gentleman, responded to him and said, please watch the content that people are telling you about because it's not what you think. Stop insulting me. Thanks. But instead, I had to do what I did today because, you know, he blocked me and ran. So it is what it is. But that's where I'm leaving it. Again, if he truly wants nothing to do with this, he should just shut up and never mention it. Let it go. All right? And then I'll never mention him again. I don't care. All right? But if he brings it up again, then I have the right to respond again. You understand? So it depends if you really want to keep it going or not. Right? I think the culmination is a match during EVO. I think that would be amazing. That's my take on it. I think it would benefit everyone. The internet wants to see it. I'm being sent pictures like this. I'm pretty sure the internet wants to see it. It would benefit him. It would benefit me. Everyone would benefit. The viewers would benefit. Everyone would love it. But if he says no, if he realistically thinks someone's going to pay him $5,000 for everything, he's got a rude awakening coming. Literally, no one's ever paying him that for anything in his life. So he better just, you know, wake up. And, you know, you do it or you don't. But, you know, if no, then just ignore it and that's the end of it. Done. But if he opens his mouth about it and talks shit, well, that's on him. He's the one who started it. So, okay. Got an email from Google. I'm trying to see what it is. Google sent out an email. This is interesting. In regards to they will also want to start deleting inactive accounts. Okay, but basically the what it says is they will only delete an inactive account if it doesn't have a YouTube channel associated with it. So for example, I don't have just a Google account I've never used in years. I haven't, for example, I probably haven't logged in to my classic YouTube channels in years, but they're saying because there's a YouTube channel associated with those accounts, they're not going to get rid of them. So essentially, if you have a really old Google account of some kind, like a Gmail account or something that you haven't used in years and years, and you've never made a YouTube channel and uploaded content, it might get deleted. You got to log into it. There you go. That's all that was. Okay. What's this? Well, someone asked a question. And should I answer it or not? It's basically troll bait, but I'll try to answer it as calmly as I can. Basically, someone tipped me $1.30 and says, when you're playing Street Fighter 6, you make a lot of excuses every time you lose. Do you think that puts off potential viewers because you're not acknowledging that there's people better than you online? That's absolutely ludicrous. That doesn't, I mean, that's not true. Yesterday, I was playing with Rashid, and I played a Rashid player who spanked me. That person had these crazy setups I've never seen. He was knocking me down and hitting me with a meaty charge tornado, dashing forward, mixing me up. I couldn't even do anything. The guy kicked my ass. That guy was amazing. And I said so. I said, wow, that guy like must have been playing this nonstop since this character came out. He beat my ass. That was amazing. I don't know anything about how to fight against Rashid. I'm learning how to use him, but that was great. You know, if there's a matchup where someone outplays me, I'll call it out. I'll say, wow, got my ass beat, right? Or, wow, you know, I don't know the matchup. Wow, I got owned. But if someone's literally spamming nonsense nonstop online and I can't beat it, I'll call that out too. The problem is people can't discern the difference because the people who criticize that aren't fighting game players. The vast majority of people who've been playing Street Fighter 6 agree with me on the stuff I've been saying. Literally, we just watched a tier maker of Justin Wong, and everything he said I agreed with, and what I've been saying all along. Literally what I've been saying. You can't react to a sonic boom. It's too fast. It's the first thing he said about Guile. It's what I said too. Oh, but Phil, that's your excuse. No, it's a fact about the game. The problem that if you can't discern the difference between me criticizing the game and making an excuse, I mean, that's your fault. That's on you. That's your shortcoming, not mine. Are there times when I'm very, very heated and because I lost a match and then I freak out? Absolutely yes. Is it always fair? Absolutely no. Sometimes it's over-exaggerated. I got that adrenaline in me, but then when I calm down and I regroup, I'm better again, right? That happens to everyone, but they get all worked up about something, you know? They got to readjust or whatever. But that's just the deal, you know? So, does it turn off new people? I mean, maybe. But then again, how many new people are coming to my streams to watch Street Fighter? Not that many. You know, I'm not stupid. I'm not fooling myself into thinking that I've earned thousands of new viewers since I played Street Fighter 6. It just hasn't happened, you know? People know who I am. So, you know, I'm not really too worried about it. There you go. I received a $10 super chat from Tech Ack. He says, you know what's sad? The fact you won't admit you're very good looking. It's so obvious you've been working on your sexy until you threw your fake chain away. All right. Very nice. Working on the sexy. Always got to be working on the sexy. Very good. Wow, I want to end the show, but contributions keep coming in. I just got a $3 tip. What will you say if LTG outright refuses your challenge? I already said, if he's a bitch about it and doesn't want to do it, then he's a bitch forever. And that's it. That's the end of it. There's nothing else to say. He thinks he can just endlessly talk shit, and then there's no consequences for it. That's not the case. If you're going to talk shit, now fucking come and be a man and face me in a game that you think that you're good at, and let's see what happens. And if you lose, who cares? If you win, who cares? But be a man. But, you know, I don't think he will. I really don't think he will. I think, like what you said, he'll talk more shit, even though I said, if you don't want to do it, just never say a word again, right? Just leave it alone. He'll probably talk shit tonight, and then he'll still back out and demand $5,000 that no one will ever give him because no one values him that much. He's nuts. Okay. Juja Jimmy, I would never, ever involve myself anything with Keemstar ever on this planet, period. Under no circumstance. There you go. Butterboy just hit me $3. He says, have you noticed that the media and the gaming community attention has now stopped? There's no more praise for Final Fantasy 16. It seems the big-time streamers that get paid by Square to play it are now done with it. I'll be honest, like, I saw it was about a week and a half, a lot of people kissing Final Fantasy 16's butt. Then I kind of saw everyone stop talking about it completely. And that was the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, I never saw anything else after that. So, I felt like, yeah, we're in a situation where the game is really hyped by certain people, and other people just don't care about it at all. I don't really think anyone's, like, crapping on it and hating on it. It's just, like, either people really like it or just don't care about it. And that's weird, because with Final Fantasy, it's almost like everyone cares about it a lot. And I feel like this one didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay. All right, guys, we got to end the show. It's been, again, another long one. Let's end it now before it goes 2 hours again, right? And I think it's time to relax. It's time to sit back, play some Final Fantasy 16, and go to sleep. I guess we'll see what happens, how boring the game is today or not. I really hope it's not, okay? But I guess we'll find out as we play here. All right? Thank you all for watching the show. And like I said, I promise you, I'm hoping this will be the end of it. we get an acceptance of the match, that's great. We can start talking about it, hyping it, and planning for it. If he denies it and talks shit, I'm just going to ignore it because there's no point. He's being stupid. We'll find out what happens. But that's that. Thank you for watching the show. And I'll see you tomorrow to let you know how today went. We're looking forward to the community night tonight. And, usually goes well. So, all right, guys. Peace out. See you tomorrow.